So my friends, welcome to a new crypto update video. Bitcoin at 14,300 US dollars. Little change compared to yesterday. Yesterday, we saw our pump towards 15,000, well, almost 760 US dollars. Then we were initially rejected here at the 200 SMA line on the 4-hour time frame. After that, over the past few hours, the price has moved back down and we found our low at around 14,000 US dollars. It has to be said the whole move yesterday was basically okay, but not particularly bullish. So as you can see here yourself, it looks very much like bot candles again. Hardly any real upward momentum, very, very weak extension. Nevertheless, we still have the chance to reach our price target to the upside. Now let's take a look at the altcoins, the traditional markets, and of course gold. But before we get started, feel free to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course feel free to join the free Telegram talk and signal group. If you're interested in updates, news and signals, feel free to join. You'll find the link for that for free down in the video description. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything we discuss here, feel free to sign up with my partner exchange, BingX. At the moment, there are some cool promotions where you can deposit euros and get up to 10% cash back, so make sure to take advantage of that. There are always these kinds of promotions where you end up getting free trades or free tokens, so definitely take advantage of it. The link is down in the video description. All right. Bitcoin 114,300 US dollars. As I said, the movement yesterday, we're now here on a 1-hour time frame, wasn't particularly bullish, so it was a very, very weak move. We have the highs up here at 115,700 US dollars. I can quickly draw that in. So these points up here, we haven't really tested them yet, or we've only just touched them, but haven't had a wick above them. That means there's still a bit of liquidity sitting above here. If we switch to the 4-hour time frame, we see the same thing. No higher high, just liquidity being swapped up here above the 200 SMA. So at the moment, even though we're currently in longs, I'm back to stop loss entry now, I actually think we could even come down and grab the liquidity down here again. That means roughly between 111,000 and down to about 109,000 US dollars to then make that move. At the moment, both scenarios are still possible, but it wouldn't surprise me if we end up grabbing the liquidity down here. So this whole red box, which was our long zone, would just shift further down again. That means everyone who is long should just set a stop loss at entry now, and that's it. And the whole box would shift downward. So down here would be a new long entry for me, grabbing the liquidity from the lows down here to then, let's say, make a new move upward. From a daily perspective, in my opinion, all of this would still work out very, very well. Of course, it has to be said that we didn't even make it to the 0.382 level here. The bearish scenario would have been this anyway. We go up here and then come back down into this box. If we recover the E, let's say, we should be on the right side, just grabbing the liquidity down here and then making a new attempt upwards into this box, or even above it, since we would have swapped significantly more liquidity. How would the heat map fit into this in the end? Let's also take a quick look at this on the weekly view. Actually, not really. So from a weekly perspective, most of the liquidity is still up here at 119,000 US dollars. So still in our golden pocket, or rather in our red box up here. Then let's take a quick look at this on the 3-day chart, just briefly, to also capture the weekend. There, things look a bit different again. We still have a few clusters at 112 and possibly also at 110. That would in turn fit with this idea here. So for everyone now wondering, should I go short or long, or what should I do now? In this situation, it's best to do nothing at all. If we get the dump to the downside, that would definitely be an idea to go long again. Otherwise, in my opinion, the box has now been dealt with. To the upside, the option would then be to open a short around 117,500 up to our top at just under 120,000 US dollars. Those are currently the two most important possibilities. Let's move over to Ethereum. How is it looking there at the moment? We're still more or less in an accumulation phase. So in my opinion, this whole phase here is pretty calm, but it's worth noting that Ethereum has actually already taken the lead here. If you remember yesterday, this was our short box up here from 3,714 up to just about, let's say, 3,820 US dollars. Ethereum has already made that move here. So the movement in Ethereum has been much, much stronger, at one point gaining 11% from the low. Of that, 9% remains now. So if you went short up here, set your stop loss at entry, you could have already taken some small profits. So the box has been worked through. That means we had our upward impulse, and if we can't stabilize up here now, I strongly believe that, especially if Bitcoin cooperates, we'll end up revisiting our low down here at 3,000 $236 US before we get that big upward move. In my opinion, that would fit very, very well at the moment if we were to see this movement here. Then we would also reach the 0.382 level here for the first time. So in my opinion, that would fit very, very well. If we break above it, then the targets are clearly at $4,100 US. So make sure to protect yourself. For me, there's still a clear long opportunity down below. Up above, the short option would definitely be the play. Solana, I have to say, I'm still a bit disappointed. Sure, the position is running, as I already posted yesterday in the Telegram group. Bitcoin and the other positions are all secured and profits have been taken. We did that yesterday right here at around 170. That means Solana is secured. But if we look at Ethereum, there was a massive pump upwards. We just saw it, 11% up. And then I see Solana here, clearly also a decent move from the low, So if we start from the low here, there was also a 9% move up in the meantime. But that impulse that we also move up towards the golden pocket here, that's still missing for me. That means the position is secured here as well. Just playing it safe. It's quite possible, since we're also being rejected at the 200 SMA here, that we'll see the same pattern as with Bitcoin, that we get another lower low here and possibly see the 153 again before we see the move up here. That would also give us a textbook double bottom. Yesterday would have ultimately been a nice fake move. A fake move Monday, so to speak, pushing up one more time before we get another lower low, basically to shake out all the traders. So in other words, getting people back into positions only to liquidate them again. So what's happening in the traditional markets? So the euro US dollar, the deal has actually come perfectly into our short zone. We talked about it yesterday, that this area here was the short zone, or actually not just yesterday, or was it already yesterday? Yeah, yesterday we were also in this zone again, so it's perfect at the moment. The position is still running. There's nothing more to say about it because the movement is currently very, very minimal. Gold hasn't reached the order yet, I'd say. So the order will definitely stay down here for now, just to be safe at around, what did we say, $3,322 US. That's where I currently have the order in for a long position. This simply has to do with the fact that the chance of us getting a Fed pivot, that is a Fed rate cut, is now at 80%, which in turn is good for gold in the long run. And who knows what else might be coming our way in the end, like a recession or something else. Gold has always performed well in those situations. That's why the current range is worthwhile. If we end up getting this small sell-off here again, it would mean that we would land perfectly in the golden pocket down here. So this area remains very, very interesting. That's why it's worth keeping an eye on whether we might get our long entry here. Let's move over to the traditional markets. What has happened there? Not much with the DAX. We're seeing a recovery, just as we said yesterday, that we should slowly but surely move into the golden pocket here, at least on the way there. The Nasdaq has recovered and has even filled the gap up here by now. So things are getting interesting here as well. Dow Jones is also showing a V-shaped recovery at the moment. Here as well, I still think, or at least we should see, the all-time high and the S&P 500. Yeah, there's not much more to say about that. Gap filled, and here on the SpreadX chart, it actually looks very, very good that we can at least still reach our target up here of $6,600 to $6,700 US. And that means the market is still very, very uncertain when it comes to crypto. Stocks are relatively bullish, even though we should be a bit cautious there as well. Let's quickly pull this up again, either provisionally or completely. You can see the fib level here yourself from the 0.5 to the golden pocket. So a bit of caution is warranted here now. Whether it's crypto, whether it's stock markets, etc., all are at certain levels where you could say, okay, things could drop significantly lower again. That's why just be careful, trade with stop losses and take profits if you've entered any trades now. Otherwise, just wait and see. So I'd say that's it from my side. Tonight at 7 o'clock, please remember, we're doing a live stream now, probably every Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock from now on. And otherwise, I'd say we'll talk again this evening. Please don't forget, 7 o'clock. I'll share the link for free in the Telegram group, and then I'd say we'll catch up later. Leave a like, subscribe, and join the Telegram group. Also, feel free to check out the promotion on BingX. As I said, you can get 10% cash back there. And otherwise, I'd say that's it from my side. Wishing you a great day. See you later, or rather this evening. Ciao, ciao. And as always, stay crypto.